Welcome to Yankee Stadium.
2022 didn't end the way Yankees fans wanted it to, but that doesn't mean it wasn't an interesting season. It was the year that Nestor Cortez established his presence with authority. It was the year we got our first look at Oswald Peraza and Oswaldo Cabrera.
High drive, right field.
And there were 2 walk-off grand slams. We even got 62 home runs from Aaron Judge. But with some reinforcements, 2023 has a chance to be an even better season. Here's 8 storylines that I'll be watching closely this year to see how it shakes out.
Thank everybody for making this night necessary.
Number 8, baseball's rule changes. Major League Baseball is going to be substantially different in 2023, adopting several rule changes that have been tested out in other leagues over the past few seasons. Here's a few of the most notable. This one wasn't really tested anywhere. You can't really test it. The schedule is different. Everybody plays everybody, which gives the Yankees a chance to see all the game's best players throughout the season, and means the Yanks won't be playing Baltimore or Tampa Bay or Toronto every 5 minutes. There's also a pitch clock. With the bases empty, pitchers will have 15 seconds to release the baseball, and with runners on, they'll have 20 seconds. In the minor leagues, this shaved about 20 minutes off the average game time, which means we'll get to the post-game recaps a little bit earlier. Pitchers are also now limited in the amount of pickoff attempts they can make and the amount of times that they can step off the rubber. Also, the bases have been made larger. This means there should be more action on the bases, more stolen bases, maybe even more hit and runs. Also, the shift has been restructured, so teams must have 4 defenders on the infield dirt when the pitch is released, 2 on either side of second base. Now, you can still move outfielders around however you'd like, so we still may see some shifts, but I think it's going to be more practical than last season. Number 7, the contract year of Luis Severino. Aaron Judge showed us last season what's possible when a player is in his contract year and has a big season. And Luis Severino is set to be a free agent after the 2023 season is over. Last year, he showed flashes of brilliance, and in this podcaster's opinion, he had his best stuff of his entire career. On the season, Severino made 19 starts. He was 7-3 with a 3.18 ERA, 112 strikeouts in 102 innings, and his whip, or walks and hits per innings pitched, came out to an even 1.00. He also came 6 outs away from throwing a no-hitter in his final start of the season against the Texas Rangers. And though his postseason numbers weren't fantastic, the stuff was there. So hopefully he stays healthy and earns himself a big payday. I'm really excited about what Luis Severino can give the Yankees in 2023.
Manager for the Yankees.
Number 6, Nasty Nestor 3.0. Nestor Cortez actually had his breakout season in 2021, 2 years ago, posting a 2.90 ERA in 93 innings. He was funky, he didn't throw very hard, so a lot of baseball fans kind of wrote him off as a fluke. However, he erased a lot of those doubts in 2022, going 12-4 with a 2.44 ERA in 28 starts. He made the All-Star team. He finished 8th in the Cy Young voting, and he threw the most innings of his career. David Cohn said that with as hard as most pitchers are throwing these days, guys like Nestor, with their command and ability to change speeds and arm angles and keep guys off balance, are really going to be the future of Major League Baseball for the next few seasons, and he expects that Nestor will continue to dominate. Nestor's baseball savant metrics were phenomenal, showing that his aforementioned traditional stats don't appear to be a fluke. He keeps the ball off the barrel of the bat, he throws strikes, he gets soft contact, and I'm expecting another really good year from Nestor Cortez Jr. Number 5, the debut season in the Bronx for Carlos Rodon, the $162 million man with an unbelievable fastball, a great slider, and just a ton of presence out there on the mound. High energy. He's going to be fun to watch. If you haven't just sat down and watched like 10 or 15 minutes of Carlos Rodon highlights on YouTube, do yourself a favor, and add that to the top of your to-do list. His stuff is just filthy. And being able to slot in the number 2 spot of the rotation between Garrett Cole and either Nestor Cortez or Luis Severino, I mean, I'll tell you what, Yankees have one of the best rotations in baseball, for sure.
The luckiest man.
Number 4, the continued development of Jason Dominguez, the Martian. I think Dominguez really opened up a lot of eyes with the way that he played in the AA Championship Series, and we haven't done a Martian tracker in a while, so we might as well put one up here. Absolutely tearing the cover off the ball. Now, keep in mind, I'm putting this video up on New Year's Day, so there's still potential moves to be made, and Dominguez has been linked in a number of trade rumors. But if he remains a Yankee, and I think he will, this could be the year he really takes off. A lot was made over his struggles during his first season. It came after missing a year of the pandemic, and he hadn't really played a ton of organized baseball at a high level anyway. But he really turned it up a notch during his second full minor league season. The exit velocities were impressive, the arm and the speed are both legitimate, and he has an excellent batting eye. This year is really going to be about getting reps against more and more experienced pitchers and seeing if his numbers can continue to improve. At 20 years old, it's not out of the question to see him reach the big leagues this year and get a cup of coffee. Melky Cabrera debuted for the Yankees at 20 years old in 2005. I've always thought that Dominguez and Melky, aside from both being switch hitters and both projecting as possible corner outfielders, they've had similar body types, kind of short and stocky. Now, Dominguez plays center field right now, but if you talk to scouts, they'll tell you he's probably going to end up in left field or right field. Probably left field now that the Yankees have signed Judge to that 9-year deal. And the way that Harrison Bader played in center field, I wouldn't mind giving him a little bit of an extension if Dominguez comes up and shows that he can handle the corner outfield spots.
The most famous baseball player of all time, Babe Ruth.
Speaking of Lord Bader, during his brief time with the Yankees, Bader was exactly the type of player that this team needed. He was high energy, he was clutch, he showed some pop in the playoffs. He was awesome on defense. He's fast, he's got a great arm, he hustles. Now, I love everything that I've seen about Bader, but one thing that really impresses me is that he never takes a play off. He's always in the right position. He's always got his head in the game. He reminds me of Don Mattingly or Derek Jeter in that way. He's always hustling, and we know he grew up a Yankees fan, so he knows how much we as fans appreciate that. I underestimated Harrison Bader when the Yankees traded for him, but after watching him play, I'm a big fan. Number 2 is the Volpe versus Peraza battle for shortstop. Now, that's something we have not seen in a while. Rookies battling it out to try and win a position in spring training for the New York Yankees. 2 highly ranked prospects, both of whom play the same position, trying to win a spot on opening day. The closest thing I can think of is when Phil Hughes, Ian Kennedy, and Jabba Chamberlain were all trying to win rotation spots in 2008, but that didn't work out so well, so I'm going to try and be more confident this time. 2 of our top 3 prospects are indeed shortstops, and that is not typically ideal, but it does create a fun competition in spring training, which will give us a reason to watch spring training. Personally, I think Peraza has the upper hand at shortstop just because he made it last year and he looked good, but Volpe won't be far behind, which begs the question, what do the Yankees do with their logjam of infielders like Gleyber Torres and Isaiah Kiner-Falefa, Josh Donaldson, etc.? That's why I think there still could be a move coming. Watch this space.
If you don't like it, you're fired. You haven't hired me yet.
And number 1, Aaron Judge, who will be playing the first year as Yankees captain. First year of a 9-year, $360 million contract. We all know about the 62 home runs and the MVP season. And I've heard a lot of commentators say, well, there's no way he can do that again. There's no way he can repeat that. And I would just like to point out that those of you who underestimate Aaron Judge do so at your own peril. If there's one guy that I've learned not to count out and not to underestimate, it is Aaron Judge. The man is just different. He's just bigger and stronger and better than everybody. And is it really out of the realm of possibility to think that if he eliminates the slump that he had at the beginning of the season and the drought that he had when he got right around 60, 61 home runs, that he could maybe pick up the pace even a little bit more. I think 60 is doable again. And I think Aaron Judge is going to give us a lot of reasons to tune in next season. So those were my 8 storylines. Let me know in the comments which storylines you're following. I know Oswald Peraza is somebody that you guys are anxious to see. And then, Frankie Montas, whether or not he can bounce back. But this is going to be a fun year for sure. I'll see you after every single game.